You ever get that feeling that you're just one step ahead of everyone else? Like you see the connections before the picture is even fully formed? Well, today we're not talking about some abstract idea. We're talking about you. We are going to decode the pattern seeker.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Have you ever been in a meeting or a simple conversation and you just knew where it was all headed? Look, it's not about being psychic or anything like that. It's more of a deep, intuitive logic, that gut feeling you can't quite explain yet, but you know in your bones is right.
You know what I'm talking about. It's that tiny, almost imperceptible shift in a friend's voice that tells you there's way more to the story. Or, at work, it's realizing the official reason our project is delayed. Yeah, that's just a cover for some deeper team issue. You're hearing the words for sure, but your brain is instantly cross-referencing their tone, the context, their past behavior, all in a split second.
So, if any of this is hitting home for you, listen up. This isn't just a personality quirk, and you're not just overthinking everything. It's actually a fundamental difference in how you process the world around you. You're seeing the web of connections, the invisible architecture that most people just walk right past. So, what do we call this? This ability, this way of seeing the world? Well, it has a name, and you might just be what we call a pattern seeker. Right? So here's the key. A pattern seeker isn't just someone who's observant. They are instinctive system builders. You see the invisible architecture of social situations, and you connect dots that other people don't even realize are on the same page.
But how? How does this even work? If you are a pattern seeker, what's the engine under the hood that lets you do this? What's going on in your brain?
Okay, so the secret, according to psychology, is all about having a more powerful working memory. The best way to think about it is like the RAM on your computer, that short-term memory that lets you have a ton of programs and tabs open at once without everything crashing. For your brain, it's the mental space where you hold and actively play with information.
Now just look at the difference here. On one side, you have a standard mental workbench. It can hold a few pieces of information, sure, but it gets cluttered really fast. Now look at the other side, the upgraded workbench of a pattern seeker. It's spacious. It can hold a comment someone made last week, their current facial expression, and a known fact about their past all at the same time. And because that space is so clean and organized, the lines connecting all those data points, they just appear. The pattern becomes obvious.
So this cognitive advantage doesn't just mean you notice a few extra details. It means you see the world through a completely different lens. This is the huge difference between seeing isolated events and seeing an entire interconnected system. For a lot of people, the world just kind of happens. It's a series of disconnected moments. An argument is just an argument. A missed deadline is just a singular failure. Each one is its own little story, with a beginning and an end.
But not for the pattern seeker. You see the wiring between the events. That argument? It wasn't random at all. It was the totally predictable result of a communication breakdown that started 3 weeks ago. That missed deadline isn't a failure. It's a symptom of a flawed process. You don't just see the dots, you see the machine that's making them.
This ability has a name too. It's called systems thinking. And really, it's the core of the pattern seeker's strength. It's that instinct to go beyond what just happened and immediately get to how and why this was always going to happen.
Okay, so you can see the systems at play. What's the actual real-world advantage of this? Let's talk about how to use this blueprint of the world that you're instinctively creating all the time. The practical power here is just immense. You can anticipate outcomes with, frankly, startling accuracy because you see the trajectory of events, not just where they started. You can solve really complex problems because you get to the root cause instead of just putting a Band-Aid on the symptoms. It's a massive leg up. Now, of course, the downside is that this constant processing can sometimes lead to overthinking, but the insight it gives you, it's an undeniable advantage. So at the end of the day, you're not just a passive observer of life's random pieces. No way. You are an architect, and you are perceiving the underlying blueprint of the systems all around you, whether that system is a friendship, a team at work, or an entire company. And that leads us to the real question. It's not if you have this ability, but what you choose to do with it. You see the system, you understand the blueprint. The only question left is, what are you going to build?